Looking for a nice spot to camp on the Murray River. Now this is a bit of a behind the scenes of my big Outback trip video. I've been doing a big road trip in South Australia through the Outback, and I wanted to show you how I camp in between a big adventure. So if I need to stay somewhere on the side of the road because it's been a big drive to a big adventure that I'm doing, I want to show you my camping setup and how I do that. So bit of a shorter video, but I'm still hoping to get a really beautiful camp on the Murray River. Stick around to find out how I go. Woo! Well, g'day everyone, welcome back to another video. Bit of a shorter video and a little bit of a different one from my, traditional historic type of camping videos. But this is a behind the scenes look of my big Outback touring trip that I did. So I recently did 5 days walking through the Gammon Ranges as a 1800s explorer. It was a massive trip, one of my biggest ones I've done yet. Now you can watch that video if you go to my Patreon, and if you go to my Patreon you can pay a few dollars to be able to watch it. The reason I've done that is because it was such a big trip and I don't have any financial sponsors just to help cover the cost, because it was a bit expensive to do this trip. I've put that trip up on my Patreon just to pay for a few dollars. It will be out next year though for free. But basically on the drive up and on the drive back, because it's a 16-hour drive either way, it's a massive undertaking, so I have to do a bit of a camp and sleep on the side of the road for both on the night on the way up, and also now I'm on the way back. So I wanted to show you how I kind of do these car camps, because I actually do these quite a bit when I'm doing bigger trips. So I kind of camp somewhere on the side of the road, and I like to go somewhere remote like this. It's absolutely beautiful. This is the Murray River in the Murray Sunset National Park, and I've got it all to myself. It's so secluded, and it's a weekend as well. I'm quite surprised there's no other campers around, but it is bloody beautiful to have this all to myself and to camp right on the river's edge. So I just wanted to show you my setup, how I camp when I'm car camping. I do it very, very simply. Not like maybe some of those other four-wheel drive channels that you've seen where they've decked out with all the setup and everything like that. I'm very bare bones kind of thing. So anyway, I hope you still enjoy this video. It's going to be a bit of a shorter one, and yeah, let's see how I go tonight. So I'll show you my sleep setup tomorrow, what's in there, but I keep it really simple. Like I've got an Alton Goods chair there. I've got my awning out. I don't really need the awning out, to be honest, but it is nice to sit under the awning. This here is my kind of toolkit. I've got tools for the car, things like that, water, jump starters, all that kind of stuff. But I use it as a dining table. And then over here, this is what I'm going to be cooking on. Alright, time for some dinner. Now, this is the little stove from Winterwell that I got from Home Camp. and I use this quite regularly these days, and I love the philosophy now behind using little stoves and fire pits. Sure, it is the Murray River, so you're allowed to collect big firewood, and you can have a big campfire right here if you want. But I'm starting to change my mind a bit. I'm starting to see that big campfires are not overly necessary when you're by yourself. They're great for communal stuff, but for myself, like, this is really good. I don't have to use much firewood. It burns really efficiently. I can cook easily on it. It's enough heat to keep me warm, especially as it's getting warmer. Like today was 27 degrees. So you don't have to use these big logs, which is habitat for animals and stuff like that. Now, look, I'm all for big fires, and that's totally fine. I've got no judgment. Just personally, I'm starting to find that I prefer taking this along for little car camps and stuff like that. This was also really handy for where I camped on the first night, because there was you weren't allowed to have fires on the ground. It had to be in established fireplaces, so I could just bring this. Now, I did pick up a bag of kindling with me, because the first place I camped, you're not allowed to collect firewood. This is the Murray River, you're allowed to collect firewood, but since I've got it, I'll use it because it burns really well. So yeah, this is what I've kind of been using recently for these kind of camps. No flint and steel for this camp. I'm doing it easy. A Bic lighter. Here's another good thing with these fire pits, you know. Oh, let's say the wind has changed and all the smoke's blowing in your face where you set up all your chairs and stuff like that. Oh, that's all right. Let's go, let's put it over here. Can't do that with a campfire that's on the ground, so these are bloody great. And in case I didn't tell you already, these are made for hot tent camping, but I use them now for this kind of camping as well. I've gone real budget. So the kind of cooking I do when I'm on the road like this, I go budget to save costs. I wanted to get myself a nice steak because I had been, the last 5 days I've been living off literally 2 cups of flour in the form of bread and about 800 grams of kangaroo dried meat for 5 days. That's all I lived off. Oh, and 2 dried apples. So I was pretty hungry and pretty keen for a nice juicy steak, but I forgot to bring a frying pan with me. So I'm like, oh, I can't cook it up really. And then I forgot I have a grill in this thing. So I really could have bought a steak and cooked it over this. So, oh well. Tonight I'm boiling water and I'm having mee goreng noodles. And I went all out and bought a Caesar salad. So very simple dinner tonight, that's for sure. It might seem funny coming from someone who's pretty much only ever just eating meat on this channel to have a salad. But after that 4 days living on just kangaroo jerky, I was craving some greens in me. I'll eat the salad first, then I'll crack my beer with the noodles. But another advantage to this stove is that on windy conditions like today, this is perfect. This is much more safe. This is far safer than an open fire when it's quite windy like this. Oh yeah, time to crack a beer. What have I got? better beer today. Glorious. Oh, I've been looking forward to that after 5 days of suffering in the outback. Hey cockies. Went to bed pretty early last night, I had a decent sleep. It's funny though, I struggled on the mattress because I've been sleeping the last 4 nights on hard ground with no mattress or no sheepskin, nothing like that. So it was a bit soft for me. And then again, I'm up at first light. I can't sleep in. I'm like, oh, I'll have a sleep in this morning, but nah, couldn't. Just because my body's accustomed to waking up with the birds and with the first light. So it is a nice way to live though. It's a nice rhythm to get into. And I suppose that's how it was for the old timers, because why would you sleep in? You know, you'd go to bed early and you'd wake up on first light. That fire is really, really nice. And I'm seeing fish jumping. D and G. I love my dog and coffees. I've got an affiliate link with them as well if you're after some dog and gun coffee. A big old cup of coffee, a pipe, a fire, and watching the sunrise over the Murray River. Pretty good if you ask me. Alright, so let me show you my sleep setup for a trip like this. So yeah, I stripped all the back seats out to make myself a lot more room in the Pajero. It's a bit messy. I've got all my gear there from my trip that I did, but yeah, so basically just got a foam mattress there. Then I sleep on top of the sheepskin from Peak Oil Company, which is really comfy, and then my cotton duck down sleeping quilt, and that's how I sleep pretty much. And it's really nice still. Even when I do a car camp, I like to sleep with heritage gear. I don't like any plastics or synthetics. And actually I usually come in this way at night time, so just hop in there and away we go. And it's such a quick and simple, easy setup, really. I like it. And I've really been loving the Pajero. I did a bit of work on it recently, so it's so it had a 2-inch lift put in at the back there, and new tires as well. These are the Maxxis razors, and yeah, it's done me really well. Look, I know my setup here is not like, you know, a touring vehicle that people have their 4-wheel drives all set up really well with drawers and tables and stuff like that, but I'm not a 4-wheel driver camper really. Like I do bushcraft and I like walking out to the bush and doing it that way. So I've not really got a 4-wheel drive set up for 4-wheel drive camping. And look, I know like with the Pajeros, people give them crap. They're not cool like a Patrol or a, you know, a 79 series or something like that. But I love it because I want something that's reliable and dependable. And you know, 50% of the time I'm using this as a car to take the kids, you know, to school and stuff like that, and then I'm taking it to get to where I need to go. And yeah, I'm not doing the craziest tracks or anything like that, but I just need to, you know, get to down a fire trail so I can walk out to the bush. So honestly, this thing does everything I need, and I'm very happy, especially with the upgraded suspension and the tires. It gets me anywhere. So yeah, it's not a built-out rig, 4-wheel drive rig like you see some people have, but this simple setup is all I need in life, and I'm very content with it. Thought I'd show you this as well. This is not sponsored or anything. I just bought this with my own money. I got one of these because when I went up to the snow with the Silly Swagman and my mate Tim, when I went to start the car, the battery was very cold and it almost didn't crank over. So this is a jump starter, and it's really small actually. Have a look at it. But what's good about this is it's also for camping like this. It's a torch there, and you can also charge, you know, my camera stuff in this as well. So this is really handy to keep in the car. Oh. And for brekkie, oh, cheapo, Heinz spaghetti and meatballs. That's all you need in life. I'll cook it in this thing. Oh, that's what you call a budget brekkie. It's like dog food. I've just dug a bit of a pit here, put all those hot coals, big old bucket of water. Then make sure it's fully out. And honestly, it's minimal impact using something like this, so I don't know, I'd advocate for it. Everyone's different. Some people love a big fire to sit around, especially communally. I reckon that's nicer, having a big fire, but when you're by yourself, this is all you really need. So there you have it, everyone. Something a little bit different for this video. Just a shorter one, not like my usual adventures, but I wanted to show you behind the scenes of how I do things when I'm doing big adventures and how I have my little setup. And I thought some of you might be interested. Otherwise, I'll be back to my normal kind of historical style camping. If you haven't seen my big adventure in the Gammon Ranges in the South Australian Outback, you can go to my Patreon and you can purchase it there for a few dollars. It's really worth it. I put a lot of effort into this video. Otherwise, it will be out next year. Yeah, this was a great little camp, considering this was not my main adventure. What a spot to camp. I think the kids would call it a side quest. But otherwise, I'm going to head home because I still got quite a few hours of driving today.